Papa to give you this welcome by letting you start. I hope you're good, Murphy. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been.
Where have you been?
Long. I've been around. Minded my business.
Murphy, looks like I can't hear you. Okay, yeah.
Is it better now?
Yes.
Yeah.
You've been minding your business.
Yeah.
Farming, eh?
It depends on where you look at it from.
So what do you deal in? Because I saw a video of you on Facebook talking about your farm.
Yeah, that was way back in my village during the Christmas. I went back home,
Okay.
Some of us are from very humble beginnings, so.
All of us. Do you know where
not
I'm
all of
coming
us.
from?
Achu is a sports kid.
Do you know where Yao Frimpong is coming from? Yao, won't you tell the young man where you're coming from? Mampong, Anna. You know where? You know, you see, Charlie, we all hustle. So, all right. So, Murphy, I'll start with you. What are the issues you want to talk about?
Oh, okay. No one can make any soccer discussion this week without talking about the rise and fall of the proposed ESL, the European Super League. Looking at how this rose, and it was as though it was coming. You look at the arrogance, in quote, with which Don Fiorentino Perez spoke. You look at it, and it was like it was within touching distance. It was happening. It was as if it was a well-crafted plan. But then when they faced the backlash, it all came back crumbling down. So we look at it from that angle. What was indeed the motive behind this ESL? European Super League. You ask yourself, which are the powerhouses in European football as we speak at this point in time? Ordinarily, I wouldn't have been much bothered if we had, in quotes, very super teams. But you look at a team like Tottenham Hotspurs, you look at a team like Arsenal, no disrespect. But then to be branded super, it means you should have done or achieved something very significant in the past. You look at 4 of these teams and they are yet to taste even the Champions League. But here are they calling themselves super teams. Tottenham Hotspur gets to the final in the Champions League and they celebrate as though they have won the trophy 11 times. Arsenal, for all the glory they might have achieved in the Premier League, are yet to win the Champions League. So what makes Arsenal super? Atletico, with all the money Simeone has been given, with all the players they've had coming through the ranks, what has Simeone done in the Champions League? So you look at these teams and you wonder why they were jumping aboard, if not for their own selfish interests. Yes, it is good. Everyone likes money. I like money. Achu likes money. Benedict, I know you like money as well. You look at a team like Arsenal. If you want to rub shoulders with the big boys, it is only fair that you earn it. If you want to go to the university, you cannot evade your WASI. You need to write your WASI before you go to the university. If you want to have the chance to play with the top boys season in, season out, you need to earn it. When was the last time Arsenal had a shot at the Champions League? AC Milan is a great club. No disrespect to AC Milan. When was the last time AC Milan played in the Champions League? So you look at some of these factors and it was seen as an easier route back into the limelight for some of the teams that had fizzled into obscurity. I name AC Milan, I name Arsenal, and even looking at Tottenham, it looks like it's going to take them quite a while for them to climb back to the level Poch took them to. So for some of these clubs, it was purely an easier route to rubbing shoulders with the big boys. So we cannot look at their intentions and then see it as a genuine, something very pure that they wanted to do. You also look at it from a sporting point of view. As a football fan, moments that we savor are moments that are not predictable. No one tipped Ranieri's Leicester to win the Premier League about 6 seasons ago. Just last season, we had Atalanta making it to the quarterfinal of the Champions League. Yeah. We saw Leipzig beat Diego Simeone's Atletico Madrid. We saw Lyon beat Pep Guardiola's star-studded Manchester City side. These are the moments we live for as football fans. We saw Paul Nicosia some years back make it all the way to the quarterfinals. We saw Schalke 04, who were recently relegated, make it to the semi-final in the season where they were beaten by United for United to ultimately lose to Barcelona in the final. Yeah. So these are some of the moments we as fans live for. We want to have the opportunity for a certain Stoke City, if by dint of their hard work in a certain season, to be able to get the opportunity to play Barcelona or play Real Madrid. So for these teams to have felt that, in quotes, they may be big. Not all of them are big in that bracket. If you look at the preamble I gave when I started my submission, if this ESL was to be formed certain seasons back, I'm not sure it was going to be the same kind of teams that were going to make it. The likes of maybe Lazio or Valencia might have come in, and the likes of Tottenham wouldn't have made it. So for these so-called founding members to be guaranteed a slot for, I think, 20 years, right?
Yeah.
For the first 20 years, they were going to be immune to relegation. It defeats the mantra of FIFA, whose game is fair play. If FIFA's game is fair play and every football played in every nook and cranny is under the umbrella of FIFA, then it is only proper that the precedent that is laid for every competition has to be based on fair play. So for the fact that 15 of these teams were going to be immune to relegation made it for me as a football fan who loves to see fairness at play, for me it was a non-starter. And there wasn't much clarity as to how the other 5 teams that were going to be joining in seasonally were going to come aboard. So if you look at all of these points and then you put them together, you juxtapose them, it is quite clear that the intentions of most of the clubs were selfish and they were self-centered. They did not look at the bigger picture. You cannot fault them. COVID has come in and it is wreaking havoc. Clubs are bleeding. Yeah. You look at the resilience with which Barcelona and then Real Madrid are fighting for this ESL course, and you can see that, Charlie, the people, their coffers dry. They are looking at it purely from a financial point of view and not from the fact that it is going to add an extra layer of excitement to... Yeah, if these big teams keep playing week in, week out, we love to see the big games, but trust me, we will get jaded by the games at a point in time. They will not be exciting again. Locally here in Ghana, it got to a point where Kotoko and has kept playing almost every time. Fans started complaining. Why? We love to see these games, but not with that frequency that this ESL was going to let the big games keep coming. So you look at it from this point of view, and it defeats so many of the basic principles of fair play and then general rules of football in terms of fairness and all of that, looking at the small clubs, being able to rise to the rank to be able to play some of these big teams. So from me, on a personal level, as a fan, the ESL may, in the long run, if well thought through and broader consultations ahead, they may have some good intention. But if what they brought to the fore is all that they had up their sleeves, then to me, it does not give a very good impression of the team. Because you look at most of the owners of these clubs who came, the likes of John W. Henry, Stan Kroenke, and Edward Woodward and the likes. When they came back, it was quite clear. When they came into the public to make comments after the unanimous backlash from all corners, it was quite clear that they had even betrayed their managers and their players, who are the main architects. How can you go into a competition that is going to be played by the players and the managers, and these major stakeholders are oblivious of their dealings? It's not the best. So from a fan point of view and from where I sit, I think there were so many boxes that were not ticked right by these founding fathers or founding teams of the ESL. They would have to come. I know this idea might have been hatched for so many years. It is only a matter of time that it resurfaces, but maybe in a better format, well thought through, so that it will be immune to a lot of the legal tussles and then rejections that they would face. Because even yesterday I was reading a piece and I chanced on a clause in the EPL that bars the teams from entering into competitions that are not sanctioned by the FA. So I'm looking forward to the FA cracking the whip. If such a precedent is set, I think it would deter some of the
cracking the whip on which teams? The teams that
the big 6 teams.
But the competition didn't happen, so
it did not. But the intent was there. The intent was there.
No. The intent was there, but it's not as if the competition happened and they participated in.
No, but there is evidence that you signed.
No, they signed. Yes. They've withdrawn.
Once you signed, whether you kick a ball or not is immaterial. Just 30 seconds, then you continue.
No problem.
Per the standing rules of the Premier League, to expel another team or any member of the Premier League, you would need a quorum of 75%.
Yeah.
Now, 6 out of the 14 remaining teams, the 14 remaining teams leaves you with 70%, which means you would need one member of the six to 10,
which definitely will not happen.
Yes, to betray them. So those are the issues. But I think that the best chance in this moment, or in terms of any sanction, has to be from the British government or the the European Union.
That's why Boris Johnson said they would have to institute a legislation. Which will. force these clubs.
So maybe I'll speak to that when it's my turn.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
Murphy.
I think I chanced on. I stand to be corrected, but I think I chanced on an article like that bars clubs from signing up to such competitions that are not sanctioned by the FA. So I think the FA, in all fairness, would have to crack the whip to deter clubs that have similar ambitions going forward to stop or to put the brakes on hatching those plans. So that's it for the ESL. I would come home and then I think we cannot speak about the local league without talking about.
No, we'll do that. We'll do that. But let's just go around and finish the ESL discussion. And are we not overly being emotional as fans about this thing?
I wouldn't say we are being. I think those who have made the argument of, oh, these guys are selfish and they are not. Let's get some things clear. Look, the elites have never been the guardians of society. Be